Welcome to Flash Tutorial. Switch location of movie clips at random. When you finish the tutorial, you'll be able to do something like this. Now these could be different items in a scene, and you have to pick them out. And right now they're in order, just to explain the thing: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But random generators have generated this combination: 6, 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. So when I press this, whatever was 6 item, here it's a square, that'll end up here. The 3 item will end up here. The 5 will end up here. The 4 will stay there. The 2 and the 1. So it's going to be 6, 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. And every time you do this, this would be randomly generated. So you can make a game for kids to find different things in order or something like that. I'm going to recommend that you watch the first part of this video before you decide whether or not you're going to complete it. I'm going to do it based on a previous set of tutorials. They're in a playlist on my YouTube site. The playlist is called Flash by Request, and the tutorials are called Flash Tutorial Number Games Part 1 to 5. So there's 5 parts. I'm going to use that Part 5 because it has the half the code I need. But if you haven't done the parts 1 to 5, once I get all the garbage out of this part 5 that I don't need, I'm just going to scan through the code so you can see it. And if you have some basic knowledge of Flash, you'll be able to just follow it from there. So I suggest you wait till you see that and where I'm at before you decide whether or not you want to complete this tutorial. I have the Flash Tutorial Number Game Part 5 opened, and I'm going to delete the layers that I don't need. I don't need this select layer, so I can delete that. And I'm just going to click on the text one, hold my shift down, that one, that one, that one, that one, and I can delete all those. Just leave me 2 layers. And if I check my library, I don't need this win. I'll hold my control down and I'll delete these. And the only thing I have is this test movie clip and the fonts, and I'll speak about that later on. Let's go to the action panel and get rid of some action code. I'm only going to do 6 numbers, so I don't need these variables. I can delete those. If I come down, I'm not going to use this count test. I can delete that. I'm going to be keeping this button on the stage, so I can delete that. I want to keep this. I want to keep this, keep this, keep this, keep all this, keep all this, keep all this, keep this. I'm not going to be moving these, so I can delete this. And I can delete pretty much everything from this. There's 2 curly brackets from this second lowest curly bracket up to here. So I'm going to delete all that and delete that. If you are starting from scratch without having done the part 5, this is the code you'll need to do. Put on. I'll just let you see it for a minute. Put it on as large as I can. You can pause it if you need to see it. I'm going to scroll it down. I'm going to scroll down again. I think you should be able to do that. Take it up to here. This is just all repeating itself. And because I'm only doing 6, I can go from 7, 8, 9, and 10. I can delete those. And there's what we have left. Now if you want an explanation of those, go do those, or go look at those parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as I mentioned earlier. Let's drag this down. I'm back on the main timeline, and the only other thing that I kept was this. Well, I'm using it as a button, but if you open the properties panel, it's a movie clip, and it's called test_MC. Okay, lock that and open the actions panel. Now, the first change I want to make is down here. This here, with this select button, I want to delete those 3 lines. That includes that open curly bracket, and I'm going to put this code in here. Stage, period, add event listener, open bracket, event, period, enter underscore frame. That's all blue. This enter underscore frame is all capital letters, uppercase, comma, end frame, close bracket, semicolon. The function end frame, open bracket, event. Event turns blue, close bracket, void. Void and function are purple, and there's the open curly bracket for that function. Let's go back to the main timeline. Select that bottom layer. Both my layers are locked. Insert a layer. Call it MC as in movie clips. Pick up your rectangle tool or anything you want to make movie clips with. I'm going to use my rectangle tool. I want a stroke of black, and I'm going to use a light greenish sort of color and make a little square holding my shift down. Make a little square. Pick up my selection tool, highlight it, right click, copy, paste it in place. Just toggle it over a little bit. Right click, paste in place, toggle that over a little bit. Doesn't matter where these are or what they are, as long as we're going to make them movie clips. Copy them all, right click, copy, right click, paste in place, and drop them down. So now I have 6 items on my stage. Going to highlight this way, or just double click on it, make sure it's all fuzzy. Modify, convert it to a symbol. Make sure movie clip is selected and call it B1 shift underscore MC. Okay. Open the properties panel, B1 underscore MC. All right. Copy that. Highlight this one. Modify, convert to a symbol. Paste it in. Make sure it's called B2. Copy that. Open the properties panel. Paste it in for an instance name. Do 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'll get back. I have my 6 movie clips made, and if I look, there they are. Movie clips, B1 to B6, and if I check and open the properties panel, there it is, B1 underscore MC. Now what you want to do is write down these coordinates. Whatever your coordinates are, that's where they are. They could be scattered all over, it doesn't matter. So there's my coordinate for that one. If I open that, there's my coordinates for that one. There's my coordinates for this one. And because they're all on the same plane here, they all have a 180. There's my coordinates for that one. They're on the 256. My coordinates for that one. And my coordinates for that one. Now yours can be anywhere on the stage you want them to be. Now let's open them one at a time so we can identify them. Call this the box, the BOX, the box or square. Lock it. Insert a layer. Call it number, NUM. Oops. Number. Select that first frame. Get your text tool. Make a little text box. Open the properties panel. I want some color that will look good on that. Black is what I'm going to use. I want to make this about 20 points. Now, make sure static text is selected here. Embed it. you should have clicked on uppercase, lowercase numerals, and punctuations, and click OK. And in here, write a number 1 in this text box. Pick up your selection tool and drag it down here and put it in that box. Come down here, right click, copy this layer. Open the library, select number 2, call this layer box, lock it, right click, paste layer. There's your number 1, double click on it, make it and drag, make it a 2. Call this one box, lock it, right click, paste layer, double click on it, make it a 3, and I'll do the other ones and get back to you. I have all my movie clips done, and if I go back to the main timeline, I can see those movie clips. Lock all my layers and open the action panel. Now we got this here stage in here, so it can happen over and over again automatically, but I'm only generating 6 numbers, so change this 10 to a 6. And if we tested it now, control test movie test, I can see I'm generating my 6 numbers, and when we're finished we'll press this button and these blocks will come up in this order. Back on the main timeline, and I'm opening the actions panel. If we come down the actions panel, down here, we have this array element if, and we're going to use it for a different thing now. So make this a 5. So after this has gone through and done 6, because it starts off at 0, so 0 up to 5 is a count of 6. Between these two curly brackets, type this code. Stage, period, remove event listener, small s, small r, capital E, capital L, that all turns blue. Open bracket, event, capital E, period. Enter underscore frame, all uppercase, comma, end frame. And don't forget the closed bracket. Just like what's up here. So now this will only happen once when it does it. Now all we got to do is fill in what happens when we hit the test button. So between these two, after this, put an enter in and type this code. Paste. If, open bracket, my number array, open square bracket, that's the lowercase of the open curly bracket, 0, close square bracket, which is the lowercase of the closed curly bracket, equals 1, close bracket. So if the array puts a 1 in that, we want the number 1 box to stay where it is. Open curly bracket. I don't think we need to bother with the traces. And b1 underscore mc period x equals, and that's the coordinate I wrote down where mine is. So in this case, the number 1 will just stay where it is. And a semicolon. Copy that line, paste it in, change the x to a y, and change yours to whatever y coordinate you have. Semicolon and the closed curly bracket for the if. Now copy this, hit an enter, a couple enters, and paste it in. What happens if this first number is a 2? Well, if it's a 2, we want the 2 block to go here. So put a 2 here, put a 2 here. So that means that this 2 block would jump over here. That's the coordinates. And we can copy it. Let's do this once more. And paste. Now we want if it's a 3, we want the third one to go there. So I'll do the 4, the 5, and the 6, and I will get back to you. Now I have all mine done up to the 6th, and if you look, if you want to use the traces, here I'm tracing my number 1, then I'm tracing my number 2, my number 3, but I don't think we need it unless we have some problems. So now if we run it, whichever number jumps in that 0 position of the array, that box should jump here. Control, test movie, test if there's no errors. And So number 1 is the first one selected, so when I hit it, nothing's going to change because number 1 jumped back where it was. Test movie test. Number 3, this time, this number 3 is going to jump on top of number 1. So far, so good. If that isn't working, don't go any further. Opening the Actions panel. Now you can copy from here to here and paste it and just make some changes. That's up to you. But I'm going to just do one for you first. I'm going to just take this one, right click, copy it, come down, click at the end here, a couple enters, paste it. Now I want to know what happens when the first element of the array. So that now is this one, because this is the 0 element, this is the first element. And we need to write in the coordinates for this. And my x coordinate for this is whatever yours are. Mine's 3, 4, 9.95. And my y coordinate is going to stay 180 because they're on the same y-axis. And it's going to be number 1, yep. And you would just copy this. Come down here, paste it in. If the number 1 position was a 2, and again a 2 here if you're going to do that, a 2 here, and a 2 here. And I'm going to do the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and then I'll get back to you. I have the rest of that done for the position 1 here, and let's test that out. If any time a test doesn't work, you got to stop. So my first 2 numbers are going to be a 2 and a 3, so this should be a 2 and this should become a 3, and that's working. Back to the action script. Now we're going to do the same thing for the next block. I'll do one more with you, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to go up here and grab the first one here. That's this one where it says number 1. That's that position, remember. Copy that. Come down here. Couple of enters. Paste it in. Now we're going to talk when the second element, which is actually the third one over, is equal to a 1. We want the B1 to go to this new one here. This is the one I copied down for this position here. In my case, it's 395.95, and my y is still 180. I would now copy that. Well, I'll finish this one off with you. Copy that. Double enters. Paste it. Now this is when my array 2 is a 2. I want number 2 to be here, and number 2 to be here, and this stays the same. I'll now do the rest of them and test that out with you. Okay, I have the rest of them done. I just want to 2 forward slashes on these traces. I don't need them. They're only there if you're testing something and it ain't working. So now let's test this out. No errors, and it should be 1, 2, 5. It should be 1, 2, 5 when I'm finished. Do another one, make sure it's working. Test movie test. It should be 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 6. So you're going to do the same thing for the rest of those boxes, the rest of those movie clips, and I'll do them and get back to you. I have them all done. I'll just give you a quick look at them. The last one you did was the 2, 6. So here we are on the third element, which is down here. And again, I don't want these traces to be popping up. I'll go down a little bit further for you to see. we're getting down to the fourth element. And now we're down to the last element, the fifth element, because remember it starts at 0 on an array. Now if you have anything else after this, in these two curly brackets, it shouldn't be here. So now, let's do this final test. It should come up 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it once more. 6, 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. 6, 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. Hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.